Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making a lightening organic facial cream because we'll be using products that are almost 100% or 99% organic. The base cream is made from almost 100% natural products. We used carrots, I used lime, I used marigold flowers, I used olive oil, I used shea butter. Okay, that was the base cream. Now we are going to mix this base cream to make our facial lotion. And I'll be using organic products to mix this facial lotion. So watch out, watch to the end and see how I'll make this, because it is very effective and it's very nice. I made a little bit of it and I'm already seeing results. I'm having a glow. You understand? My face is beginning to glow. When I saw that it's working, and I said, wow, let me come and share this recipe on YouTube with my YouTube family so that we'll all benefit from it. So for those of us that want to make a facial cream that is super natural, that is organic, free of so many chemicals, please try and watch to the end. You can also try this recipe for some of your clients and see if it will work for them. You know, our skin is all different. What works for one does not work for the other, okay? So stand by and watch, eh? See ya! I'm cleaning my table. This is alcohol. So I'll spray it all around, even on top of all the things I'll be using, my glassware. All I'm spraying alcohol on top of them. Then I'll now clean up, okay? I'm sterilizing not only my utensils but my surface also. Before I started, I've already washed my glassware, dried them, then sterilized them with alcohol. So I'm doing it again the second time now. I'm cleaning up my table, okay? I've already gotten my working materials ready. So now I'm going to wear my gloves and we will start sharpening. So as I said, one of the most important tools you need is your scale and your recipe. You need these two things, very, very important. Your recipe has to be balanced. Your recipe has to be correct. Then you need a good working scale. Okay, so I'll keep my recipe here. I'll be using it. I'll be going through it as I'm making my facial cream. Make sure all your things, you can see my glass, so everything is clean and neat. So I'll start with my base cream. And now see my base cream. I don't know whether you've seen it since the time I made it. You can see my base cream. See? Beautiful, isn't it? The base cream I made a video on. You can see it. I've even used it a little bit. And it smells nice even without perfume. Remember I told you I didn't put perfume on it, in it. Anytime I pro-mix it or I mix it up for anybody, that's when I put the perfume inside. So this is just my plain base. It's not a whitening base. Making a whitening base too is very, very easy. It's not difficult. But this is a plain base. And why I made it so like this is because I also use this cream for my kids. I use them for kids and babies. This cream can be used for babies. It can be used for cream for kids. So I didn't put any whitener or anything like that inside. So now I'm going to get my base now. And my base, I'm using 60% of my base. I want to make a total of about 500 grams. Okay, so my base is about 300 grams. I'm going to get about 300 grams of my base. So I'm going to fetch that now. But before then, I have to on my scale, zero it out, then scoop in 300 grams of my base cream. You can see how beautiful and thick my base cream looks. 300 grams. So that's 300 grams of my base cream. Okay, so now to my base cream I'll be adding my herbal water. Remember my neem herbal water that I made? I have a video on how I made my neem herbal water and my aloe vera gel. Okay, my homemade aloe vera gel. So I'm going to use 20 grams of my neem herbal water. I'm adding in 20 grams of my neem herbal water. So that's 20 grams of my neem herbal water. I'll also be adding 20 grams of my aloe vera gel. So I'll zero this out. 20 grams. That's 20 grams of my aloe vera gel. Okay. Then next I'll be putting in my, so I'll be taking 25 grams. So now I'll be taking 25 grams of propylene glycol, and in each I'll dissolve 10 grams of kojic acid and 10 grams of sepi white. You know they are oil soluble. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing now. The sepi white I'm using is oil soluble. That's why the sepi white that's water soluble. There's one that's oil soluble. The one I'm using is oil soluble. So this is my propylene glycol, and I'll be getting 25 grams of my propylene glycol. So to it I'll be adding 10 grams of my kojic acid, my kojic dipalmitate acid. I'll be putting in 10 grams. So this is 10 grams of my kojic dipalmitate acid. Okay, and remember kojic dipalmitate and sepi white, they go together and they have a similar pH range. Okay, so this is my sepi white. I'll be putting 10 grams also. So already here on my scale is 10, so I'll be adding another 10 to get 20. So that's 20 grams of my sepi white powder. Okay, then I'll also be adding collagen powder. I'll also be adding, okay, I'll mix this up now. So I'll mix this up and keep aside. Okay, I cannot add any more propylene glycol to this, because this propylene glycol that I've already calculated is what my recipe calls for. But since I'm making cream, it will definitely dissolve inside, because after I finish making the cream, I'll still blend it, so they'll all dissolve in the cream. Okay, so now I'll keep this aside. So here is my 25 grams of propylene glycol, my 10 grams of kojic acid, and my 10 grams of sepi white. Kojic dipalmitate is compatible with sepi white, giga white, alpha arbutin, and normal kojic. Okay, so you don't have to use only kojic and sepi as I did. You can decide to use any other one. Maybe you can decide to use giga white and alpha arbutin, or alpha arbutin and then kojic dipalmitate. Okay, so it works best at a pH of 4 to 7. Okay. My sepi white is a very good whitening powder. It is a natural alternative to hydroquinone. It works at times. In some people it works within 7 days. In some people within 7 days you will see the effect. It is also compatible with giga white, with kojic acid, and with Snow White. Okay, it also melts in oil, usually heated oil. Okay, you usually have to heat the oil double boiler method for it to melt. Okay, it is a very fast lightening powder. Okay, a natural alternative to hydroquinone, as I've said earlier. Now this sepia white brightens the skin and supports the skin. This sepia white will help brighten up the face very well. Okay, so now, as I said, this is our kojic and sepi in our propylene glycol. I'll be keeping that aside. So now we'll continue with adding things into our base cream. Okay, so now I'll be adding my almond oil. I'll be adding 10 grams of almond oil. That is about 2% of our recipe. Okay, you can see it's a new, I'm just opening it now. So I'll be adding 10 grams of my almond oil. So now, after that, I'll be putting in my collagen powder. Collagen, as we all know, is produced naturally in our body. We all produce collagen in our body. That is what gives our skin that supple, beautiful look. It is the building block of it's like a building block of our facial matrix, of our body, of our skin matrix. Okay, now this collagen is what that's why you see kids and babies have that beautiful luscious look, because their skin is rich in collagen. As we age, at times this collagen production slows down, so some people take this collagen orally together with glutathione as a way of whitening. Okay, but there is a lot of controversies concerning this collagen. Some say orally it does not work because even the stomach acids are enough to destroy it. You know, the hydrochloric acid in the stomach is enough to destroy it. At the end of the day, it gets metabolized and nothing is really left for the body to use as collagen. Then some also say that even topically it doesn't work, that the molecule is too large to be able to penetrate the skin and to be useful to us. Well, for now, science is going back and forth on the issue, but we are going to use it. So for my collagen powder, I'll be putting in 2% of my collagen, and that is 10 grams. Next, I'll be putting in my acids. I'll be putting in my alpha hydroxyl acids. Okay, remember I've already combined my acids together, and in this I have my lactic acid, my malic acid, my glycolic, and my salicylic acid. Okay, and I'll be putting in 20 grams of my acids. That is about 4% of my recipe. Okay, so I'll be putting in 20 grams of my acid. Okay, what are you doing? How is it apply? I am making cream.
Yeah, making cream.
Yes, I'm making cream.
Cream.
So next, I will all know the benefits of these acids. This our lactic acid, our salicylic acid, our malic acid, our glycolic acid. These are what will give this. These are what will make shrink the pores of our face to make it more smoother. It reduces fine lines. Okay, it helps brighten up the skin. So the uses are much. So our next ingredient I'll be putting in is our niacinamide. That's our vitamin B3, and I'll be putting in 5 grams of my niacinamide powder. So my niacinamide powder, I'll be putting in 5 grams of my niacinamide powder. So that's 5 grams of niacinamide powder. Okay. So next we'll be putting in our allantoin powder, and our allantoin powder I'll be putting in 15 grams powder. That's about 3% of our recipe. This allantoin powder is very good. It's a keralytic agent. It helps shed away dead skin cells. It works well together with our, it helps sheds away dead skin cells. Okay, so our allantoin is very good. I'm putting about 2% of it in my recipe. Then also remember that our alpha hydroxyl acids also help break down the bonds between the dead skin layers. They help break them down and aids in shedding it. This makes it easy for us to regenerate our skin cells and shed off the dead ones, exposing the brighter skin underneath, giving our face a natural nice glow. It also helps shrink fine lines, large pores, and in people that have oily skin, the lactic acid, malic acid, salicylic acid, and all that helps in reducing acne and pimples in people that have oily skin or that are acne prone. Remember that our salicylic acid works even beyond just the surface, but it goes down into the pores of the skin and help eliminate any oil out, such that there won't be oil that will gather that will now form acne later on. Okay, so we'll now continue. So now what I'll be adding next is my skigood. And this skigood I'll be putting in about 10 grams. This skigood has ketoconazole and neomycin sulfate. These are the two main ingredients I'm more interested in. The ketoconazole. Ketoconazole naturally is an antifungal. Okay, ketoconazole is naturally antifungal. Then neomycin is an antibacterial. So the two of them, the ketoconazole and the neomycin together, gives it the antifungal and antibacterial property. Then this clobetasol propionate is the one that has anti-inflammatory action. Okay, so that's why you see that it has ketoconazole, clobetasol, and neomycin. If you have a little basic knowledge of if you have some little basic medical knowledge, you now understand why this is good. And I'll be using this in my facial cream. This will also work together with my alpha hydroxyl acid, my neem, and my aloe vera to make sure that our face stays free from any form of blemish. And remember, this can be used not only on the face but also on other parts of the body, because it will work against ringworm, eczema, foot itching, and any skin infection. Okay, so I don't think the 10 grams will in any way do bleachy, no. So I've put in my 10 grams. Next, I'll be putting in my grapeseed oil. This is my grapeseed oil, and I'll be putting in 5 grams of my grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is very good. It's just like having lemon oil. You know, all these things that I'm putting are things that I believe will be very good for the face. You know, our faces are more sensitive than even our skin. They are more prone to reactions, to acne, and to different things compared to the skin. So next, I'll be using my tea tree oil, and I'll also be putting 5 grams too. You all know tea tree oil. It has astringent properties, so it is also good for acne prone skin, and not even necessarily for acne prone skin. It's just good for it's just also good for the face, because it will help keep the face blemish free. Okay, I'll be putting my Vid Gold. This Vid Gold is very good. It's a natural lightening oil, and it's very light and gets easily absorbed into the skin. This Vid Gold that I'm using is carrot and almond oil. Why I'm using carrot and almond is because our base cream contains carrot, and I also used almond oil here. It is a 7 days whitening, active whitening oil, and it contains I think the active ingredient here is kojic acid and glutathione. That is the active ingredient in this oil, kojic acid and glutathione. But you must not use this pink Vid Gold. This is the one that I have, that's why I'm using it. You could decide to use any of the Vid Gold that is suitable for you. There's the one that has lemon. There are different types, so just use the one that suits you. This is the one I have, that's why I'm using it. There's no use for me to go and buy a different one when I have this one. So I'm using 15 grams of it. So that's the 15 grams of my Vid Gold. The smell is nice. I like the smell. It smells fruity and heavenly. So next, we'll be putting in our preservative, and our preservative will be 2.5 grams of preservative. Okay, adding my preservative at 2.5 grams. So that's our preservative. And then we should not forget, let's pour in our kojic and sepia white. I'm pouring it in now. So I'll give this a good stir now. We have finished our measurements. So I'm stirring it up now. So after stick blending, you can see this is my facial cream. I've not packaged it yet. You can see very beautiful natural color, cream, or should I even say golden. Very nice color. Okay, so I'll just get a little bit of my cream, mix it with a little amount of water. This is my distilled water. Just a little amount, just enough to get it to be a little bit runny. I will now take the pH. The pH falls around 4, and I'm using strip. So if I'm using strip, it won't be easy for me to find that 4.5, but this is around 4, which is okay for me. Okay, my facial cream is balanced. Okay,